network doesn't look very good. But if I put it like this, but if I put it like here,
It might work.
it might work here.
Mm.
You know, I think much better here, right? And here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's better. That's better. So me, I'll be talking, you know. Get that phone. Let me see if it has got network.
Okay.
Then you can get busy
Huh?
with the phone. Let me see. Okay, you're good, baby. You're good.
Huh?
You can use this phone.
Okay. I can watch YouTube. YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
But I watch something nice.
You want something nice? Okay. That's what you are watching, right?
Yeah. This is what I was watching. This one doesn't work.
I think the internet is not good here.
Maybe how about this one? You can't. This one is.
Okay, all the best. Just don't disturb me, so let me talk myself. You know. So, a teacher kukonko lubilo nawe chikonko lubilo. I am particularly concerned with the statement that has been issued by State House. I am particularly concerned, and I thought, no, I can't wait. I need to talk about this like right away. You know, one thing that you have to understand with me is that it is not about being a praise singer. No, it is not about being a praise singer. It is about giving my views the way I see things. If I don't agree with what the government is doing or what President Hakainde Hichilema is doing, I will say it. I will say it. Please mark this. It is not, I am not a sycophant. I am not a sycophant. I'm not a guy that is just gonna support anything anyhow. Especially when it relates to, you know, the sovereignty and the state of our nation. Get me that right. Especially where it has to do with the sovereignty of our country. You know, I am a patriot. I am a patriot, and I struggle to fight for my country. Now, that country, for the country to be a good country which can, you know, look after its people, which can develop, the sovereignty of the state itself must be preserved. We must preserve the state. We must preserve the state at all costs. And I am saying we must preserve the state at all costs. All of us must sacrifice to maintain the state. So if anything threatens the state, or if anything, you know, disturbs the state, we must stand up and be able to defend our country. We should never allow our state, you know, to be swayed or to be disturbed or to be destabilized. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. At all costs, we should defend our state. In Apa, you know, I'm a president of a political party, and one of the things, one of the issues, one of my pillars of leadership is to make sure that you maintain the state. The welfare of the state must be solid. The state must be protected. The state must have a good reputation. People must speak good of your state. When they say Zambia, people must think positively. People must think good about Zambia. It starts from there. You can't have a bad name and expect the country to move. You can't have a country that is destabilized and expect the country to develop. No ways. So anything that threatens the state, for me, no ways. Apple, apple, pen, apple. If you don't know. Those of you who have followed me, this is where we have actually differed. Even na PF, na issue ya Balungu. I talk about Balungu as a former head of state. As a former head of state, and as a former head of state, he must be buried in Zambia. It is an embarrassing to the state to have a former head of state buried outside Zambia. It is embarrassing. It does not give a good picture. It does not give a good reputation for a former head of state to be buried outside Zambia. This is my point. It is about patriotism. So all those reasons that you bring, whatever, all those reasons, they do not help, the image of the state. They don't help the image of the state. Whatever reasons that you bring up, this, whatever, at the end of the day, you are sacrificing the state. And for me, no ways. As far as the state is concerned, we must protect. Now, talking about this issue of the people that wanted to gather to pray. Firstly, you must understand that I'm a Christian. I'm a practicing Christian. I pray daily. I pray daily. My faith is very strong. I believe in God, and I believe in everybody, and I respect all other religions. I'm a Christian, but I also believe, I also respect all other religions, because I'm a Catholic. It is by accident. It is by accident. If I were born in Afghanistan, I would have been a Muslim. If I were born in India, I could have been a Buddhist. So for me, in the issue of, I don't hold that opinion to say, no, only Christianity is the right religion, whatever. No, I embrace all religions. As long as you are praying, I don't have a problem. I'll even pray with you. I don't have a problem. Here, I've even prayed with Muslim. I've prayed with them. I don't have a problem. As long as you are praying, that's okay. So, the first point that I want to give is that I strongly believe in believing a supernatural being, in praying to a supernatural being. I believe that, and I respect that. So this is not about because it is this pastor, because it is whatever. No, it's not about that. I respect all religions. However, we must be wary that religion world over has been used to destabilize states. Religions have been used to destabilize states. Religions have been used to indoctrinate people, whereby, the state is affected. So much as people are supposed to be praying, to be doing whatever their religion, it doesn't matter which religion. They can do all that. They can do all those religious activities. I have no problem. No problem. But it must be within the confines of the law. Because the state, the basis of the state is the law. The basis of the state is the law. The bedrock of a state is the law. So whatever you are doing, it doesn't matter. You must be able to follow the law. That is, according to me, you must be able to follow the law. If whatever you want to do, it must be in conformity with the law. It must be in conformity with the law. Let me put in the power bank. It is warning me that the battery is low. So whatever you are doing, it must be in conformity with the law. It doesn't matter. I am not against any religion or any grouping from praying. I am not against it. But whatever you are doing, it must be in conformity with the law. It must be in conformity with the law. But who enforces the law? It is the police. It is the police. The police are the ones who enforce the law. So we must give them the leverage. We must give them space to enforce the law. We must not hinder the police, and we must not be seen to hinder the police from enforcing the law. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. And mostly, the rest of us can criticize the police. The rest of us can criticize. I can criticize the police. I can say whatever it is on the Inspector General of Police. I can say that. But it should never come from State House. It should never come from State House. I am talking here because that statement is coming from State House. State House should never cheat the police in public the manner that they have done. No ways. No ways. That statement is very wrong, and I condemn it, as much as I can. I condemn that statement coming from State House. You have to know this. I am not a praise singer. I'm not a naive praise singer who is going a gullible praise singer. No, I'm not. I'm not. What is wrong is wrong. That statement is very wrong. It's very wrong. It's very wrong in every way you look at it. That statement coming from State House is very wrong. State House can never separate itself from the police. That statement, in as much as you are saying, we investigate. Who is going to investigate? State House is going to investigate. Investigate who? The police. And after your investigation, who is going to report? I mean, some of these things, do you really think properly when you are handling some of these state matters? Do you really understand? Do you really understand the implication of that statement that you have made? You are weakening the police. And as State House, you should never weaken the police. You should never be seen that you are, diluting the powers of the police. You should never, as a State House, and this, it doesn't matter who is in State House. It doesn't matter who is in State House. This is not about, no, because it's Aka in the Ichilema. No, it is, I don't mind whoever is in State House. It is not right for you to dilute the powers of the police. That statement, you are basically criticizing the police. You are basically criticizing the police. How can you, as a State House, the Commander-in-Chief, be the one to criticize the police? How? Just how? How? You guys, whoever in State House, whoever in Mama statement, how? How can the Commander-in-Chief be the one to start criticizing the police? How? How? Just that statement, it weakens the police. It weakens the position of the police. You can never cheat the police publicly in the manner that you have done. You can't do that. The president is part of the police. The president is part of the police. The president is part of the police. And coming out to say, no, we don't know who issued the statement. You are sleeping on duty. You are actually admitting that you are sleeping on duty. No, we didn't know. But you are part of this. That statement is an indictment that you don't know what is going on. Of course, I'm not saying that the president knows everything, but we shouldn't know what the president doesn't know and what the president knows. We shouldn't. We shouldn't know. There should be nowhere where we should know what the president knows and what he doesn't know in as far as the security system is concerned. There is no way. I'm not saying he should know everything. And he can't know everything. But there should be no way a president should come out openly and say, no, I didn't know. You are the Commander-in-Chief, man. You are the Commander-in-Chief. Even if you didn't know, you deal with it internally. You deal with it internally. If there was a lapse, if there is something that you have seen from State House point of view, there is something that you have seen which is not right, you are supposed to deal with it internally. You are not supposed to come up with a statement. And this statement is coming at 6 o'clock. What was the rush of you coming to issue that statement at 6 o'clock? Iwe Hamasaka. What was the rush that you issued a statement at 6 o'clock? What was the rush? What was pressing? What was pressing that you have to issue a statement at 6 o'clock? Because some people who were gathering, they were told to go by the police. And you go and issue a statement and you say, no, we didn't know. How? How? No, 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 no. It doesn't work out like that. You don't do that. You don't do that. The president is a commander-in-chief. Even when he doesn't know Mdara, so he's on the tarmac by airport. He's asked the question, hey, the police have done this, they have killed this, what, and the president doesn't know. The president can never come out and say, oh, is that what happened? No, I don't know. So somebody was killed. No, no, that is weakness. That is weakness. You are making people think to say, so the president, he doesn't know. Okay? And next now, with that statement, next, when there will be these other gatherings, people will be questioning now, when the police will be, the implication, let me come to the implication of that statement. The implication of that statement, first of all, anyway, when you talk about, let me talk about the investigation. You're talking about investigation. Now, you are State House. How are you going to investigate this? And when you investigate, because when you say I'm investigating, you're supposed to come back and give a report. Are you telling me State House is going to do the investigation and afterwards come out and give a report to say this is our finding? No, that is not how the way it works. It doesn't work out like that. Our system, our state has got a system in which the powers of the police are checked. In which the powers of the police are checked. You don't create something else to say, no, we are investigating. No, you don't. Because we have got a well-established institution, which is, the police commission. Okay? As the president, he can issue the police commission to say, can you check what is going on there? As the president, he can do that. There is a commission which oversees the police. And when there is something wrong, the president quietly tells the commission to say, can you look into this matter? It is not the State House to come out to say we are investigating. State House is not an investigative wing. No, it's not. So that one is very wrong, number one. It's very wrong. State House is not an investigative wing. It's not. State House issues instructions to the investigative wings to do that. Not State House. Number one. Number two, first of all, even the issue of, I'm sure you have gotten the point to say the president should never come out to say, I don't know about this. Matters of security. We shouldn't know what the president knows, what the president doesn't know. We shouldn't know. It is wrong. Investigation, the president cannot come out to say, we are investigating. No. There are institutions that are supposed to investigate. Then, the other issue is where you have said, we don't object to all religious groupings, whatever. Those who want to pray, they can go and pray. It is there in your statement. It is there in your statement where you are coming out to say, no, people can pray, people are free to pray. Now, you people, haven't you learnt enough lessons with some of these religious leaders? Haven't you learnt a lesson with some of these politicians who use churches? Haven't you learnt a good lesson with some of these people, mischievous people that have used the church? Haven't you learnt enough lessons? Don't you have enough lessons about this issue of change? Don't you have enough lessons? Don't you have enough lessons? Because now what you're doing, you are opening it up. That no, as long as it is in the name of the church, you can pray. As long as it's religion, you can pray. That's what you're doing. So tomorrow, another guy will come up and will pitch up at whatever place and say, we want to pray. The police will go there and they will tell them to say, does the president know? Because that's what will be happening now. The police will be asked questions to say, Iwe, whatever you are doing, does the president know? We have come here to pray. We have come here to pray. And the president, there is a statement here which said we should be praying. So, you dilute the powers of the police. You dilute the powers. You dilute the powers of the police. And you don't have to do that. You can't. You can't do that. And that's how I live. Wherever I am, there are people around me. Anyway, that's the point. That's beside the point. So you cannot dilute the powers of the police. And you can't just open it all. Yes, Zambia is a Christian nation. Yes, Zambia is a Christian nation. Yes, a lot of people are Christian. Yes, a lot of people in our country are very religious. They want to pray. But hey, we have a state to protect. And we should never allow any grouping, be it religion, to destabilize our state. Be very careful. What I'm just telling you is that if you are going to go by the political whim of saying, no, Zambians are Christians, and if you talk about Christianity, then they will say, no, you are not a Christian, hey, you are whatever, whatever. No. I know UPND has got a tag that, you are Satanist. Yeah, not that they don't pray. You have got this tag, and you may want to remove this tag, but I can tell you, don't be. God is the one who judges us. God is the one who knows how religious I am. No, so it shouldn't bother you. It shouldn't bother anyone in government when people say, no, hey, these people don't pray. Hey, these people don't pray. Hey, these people. No. It shouldn't bother you. That is your business with God. You can say whatever you want about me, whether I'm pious or not. That is my business with God. So, you people in government should never be drawn into defense. That no, because people will come and cheat you in the name of religion and you will be shocked. These things have happened in a number of countries. NGOs, you must be very wary. You people by UPND, you must be wary of NGOs. You must be wary of these religious groupings. You must be very, very careful. People easily believe, especially in Zambia, gather people, it doesn't matter. And when it comes to religion in Zambia, they don't even question. They don't even question. Even those who are very educated, the professors and everything, just bring in religion, bring in the Bible, they will swallow everything that what you are saying. They will swallow everything. That's why we even have some politicians who want to ride on the fact that God has anointed them. Some prophet has told them that you are going to be president. And they are going around the country campaigning to say, God has anointed me. And some people believe that. Some people believe that. So, surely, as much as we want to pray, let us be careful. Let us be careful. We can't just open doors. And what you are doing, that statement is trying to open doors that anyone can just come to say, no, whatever. And when the police will come up and say, hey, excuse me, have you gotten permission to come and tell us to stop? Have you gotten permission to come and tell us to stop? Go and get the permission from the president. Then you can come and talk to us. And tit for tat will go on, exchange of words, what, at the end of the day, people will become incensed. Next, you have violence. Because people will be challenging the police. And as they are challenging the police to enforce the law, they might end up, using force. And when they use force, at the end of the day, you have people dying. And when they die, they will say, people were killed at a prayer grouping. You see? Because you created this impression. You don't have to create an impression where the police are seen to be weak, are seen that they need permission from the president to enforce the law. Even when they are doing something wrong, unfortunately, even when they are doing something wrong, you are only supposed to correct that wrong within the system, because the system has its checks and balances where you can check the powers of the police and what they do. You can do that. The system has that. But it is not for you to come and bring it on a headed paper of State House. No. You are messing up these things. It is very wrong. It is very, very wrong. No one should think that they can just gather up, anywhere and start praying without following the law. No. I don't know the reasons why those people were removed, but I know the police cannot just wake up and say, no, disperse. There must be some reason why the police did that. There must be some reason. And before you find out, it is wrong to issue a statement to start condemning the police. It is very wrong. condemn it, me, I condemn it. I'm not a praise singer who just follow things, naively. No, I don't. That statement, Naikan, and the agents at which you release that statement, Naikana-sana, you are compromising the powers of the police, and as you compromise the powers of the police, you make the police incapable of enforcing the law. In some countries, we have police being slapped. You don't want to reach that point. You have police being beaten. We shouldn't allow that situation. We shouldn't allow that situation. The state, to be able to be a state as it is, there must be an effective police, a police that is respected, not a police that is questioned. If there is something wrong, yes, there will be something wrong, that there will be things that will go wrong. We will be able to sort out that using the system that is there. There are systems that are there to correct the wrongs of the police, not issuing statements in the manner that you have done in an icon. A number of the points that I'm saying that I can wrap up with is that, number one, the president should never be seen, or we should never know what the president knows, what that the president doesn't know, in as far as security issue is concerned. No ways. So it is wrong to come out and say, no, the president didn't know, the president didn't issue whatever. No, that's very wrong. That's very wrong, because you're also giving an impression that certain things, the president says go and do that. If you can deny to say, no, the president didn't know about this, it means that certain things the president comes in to do that, no, which is not right. Number two, you are saying you are going to investigate. State House is not an investigative wing. No. State House, as the president, gives instructions to relevant authorities to do the investigation. Number three, Zambia is a Christian nation, and we are all religious and everything, and we're supposed to respect, people when they want to pray and so on and so forth. But they must do this within the confines of the law. Within the confines of the law. Number four, the police are there to enforce the law, and we should never dilute the powers of the police to enforce the law. Even when they make mistakes, it should not be, we should not coming up with statements to cheat the police in public. No, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. Number five, UPND, be wary of NGOs, be wary of some of these changes. I mean, we are supposed to do politics. Let us do politics, but let us not use changes. Let us do the politics, but let us not use changes. So some of these activities, let's be careful with them. I'm happy that some of the bishops, the Catholic bishops, are discouraging people from, are discouraging politicians to make political statements in change. Because the change is used to campaign. It is wrong. I'm against. That's why you don't see me now change. I'm starting issuing statements. No. It is wrong. Let the changes be, there for the mission to preach the word of God, to give hope to the people, and not to be used for politics. By UPND that I'm changing, mukaisanga mlimamone. Style yako bati yo pantu ni kuchange, yo pantu wa kuchange, shan. Wambo kula kunyama statements chero. Mukaisanga mlimamone. These men of God, they are just human beings like the rest of us. They have got their own interests. They have got what they want. And most of these men of God, they like money. They like to shine. You see how they shine. You see how they show off their big vehicles, how they show off their big houses, how they show off their flamboyant lives. They like that. But that, for you to have that kind of life, sometimes you may have to enter into some activities which may not be good for the state. So be careful. Anyway, I just had to say to get my mind on this one and let everybody know that I am a patriot. Anything relating to the state, I will stand up to defend the change, or to defend the state. I will stand up to defend the state. I want to be a Republican president, but I cannot be a Republican president if the state is in shambles. No, I am not that kind of politician who want to destroy and say, no, I'll come and build. No, you don't destroy. destroy, and then you say you come and build. No, that is wrong. Anyway, where's my key? Oh, there she is. Bye for now. Good day.